Imagine a man whose death brought an entire nation to a standstill. Shops closed, church bells tolled, and millions lined the streets in mourning. This was not the passing of a king or a saint. It was the death of Arthur Wellesley, the Duke of Wellington, the soldier-statesman who defeated Napoleon at Waterloo and became one of Britain's most enduring national heroes. Welcome to Earth Sights on this day series. And today we are looking at September 14th, 1852, when the Iron Duke, as he was known, passed away at the age of 83. His death marked the end of an era, but his legacy continues to shape how we understand leadership, strategy, and duty to this day. Arthur Wellesley was born on May 1st, 1769 in Dublin, Ireland. He wasn't destined from birth to be a great leader. In fact, he was the third surviving son of the Earl of Mornington, and few expected much from him. He grew up in privilege, dividing time between the family mansion in Dublin and Dangon Castle, but money was always tight. His father died in 1781, when Arthur was only 12, plunging the family into financial difficulty. Arthur attended several schools, including Eton, but he was far from an outstanding student. Quiet, reserved, and often overlooked, his mother once despaired that he would amount to nothing. And yet, as history would prove, Wellesley's destiny was not to shine in the classroom, but on the battlefield. In 1787, lacking direction, Arthur joined the British Army as an ensign. This step, seemingly small, would change his life forever. By Christmas of that same year, he had already been promoted to lieutenant. Wellesley quickly showed an aptitude for discipline, strategy, and leadership. He immersed himself in military life, studying tactics and gaining experience across Europe and in India. It was in India that his reputation began to grow. His victories in the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War and later the Second Anglo-Maratha War proved his ability to outmaneuver opponents, even in difficult terrain and with limited resources. This was the making of the man who would one day face Napoleon himself. By 1808, Wellesley, now Sir Arthur Wellesley, was given command of British, Portuguese, and Spanish forces in the Peninsular War against France. Here, his brilliance shone. Using defensive strategies and careful planning, he consistently defeated larger French armies. By 1814, Napoleon's grip on Spain was broken, and Arthur returned home as a hero. His leadership earned him the title of Duke of Wellington, a name that would forever be etched into history. If the Peninsular War made Wellington famous, the Battle of Waterloo in 1815 made him immortal. Facing Napoleon, arguably the greatest military mind of the age, Wellington led British and Allied forces in a desperate, all-day battle. His defensive tactics, combined with the timely arrival of Prussian forces under Blücher, crushed Napoleon once and for all. This victory ended 2 decades of near-constant European war and secured Wellington's reputation as a master strategist. He became known as the Iron Duke, admired for his resilience and steady leadership under pressure. After his military triumphs, Wellington transitioned into politics. He entered Parliament in 1818 and by 1828 became Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. As Prime Minister, he was pragmatic and conservative. His government is perhaps most remembered for passing the Catholic Emancipation Act of 1829, which granted Catholics the right to sit in Parliament. This decision was controversial among his Tory supporters, but showed Wellington's commitment to national stability over party loyalty. He served until 1830 and briefly again in 1834. Beyond politics, he remained Commander-in-Chief of the British Army from 1827 until his death. His voice carried weight on matters of defense and governance, even as Britain changed rapidly during the Industrial Revolution. On the 14th of September, 1852, at the age of 83, the Duke of Wellington died at Walmer Castle in Kent. He had suffered from a series of health problems in his later years, including strokes and seizures. The news of his death spread rapidly across Britain and Europe. The reaction was immediate and profound. Parliament adjourned, church bells tolled across the land, and Queen Victoria herself described the loss as a national calamity. Plans were made for a state funeral of extraordinary grandeur, rivaled only by that of Lord Nelson. On November 18th, 1852, Wellington's body was carried through the streets of London to St. Paul's Cathedral, where he was laid to rest. Over 1 million people lined the streets to witness the procession, a testament to his unparalleled standing in British society. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the life and death of the Duke of Wellington. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more historical explorations. Share it with anyone who loves history. And, as always, thank you for using Earthsight.